We're back on mornings, 23 minutes after the hour. You know, Dr. Kogan gave us a lot to think about our health care and the rising costs and all of the retooling that's going on. But one of the things that we can do now and should do, I know I should do, is eat better and eat healthy. And that's where we go with our next guest.
We're going to talk about it with our next guest. She's in town speaking to people about diabetes, and we know that that's a big concern with a lot of our listeners and viewers. So we'll ask her about that, but there's another big thing we might want to ask her about. Big thing, get it?
Yeah, I get it.
You know where I'm going with this? Yeah, we want to welcome Cheryl Forberg to our studio. She's a weight loss and nutrition expert, a registered dietitian, and the big thing, she's the consulting dietitian for The Biggest Loser.
That's right.
Hey, Cheryl, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Well, let's talk to you about that first. Is it a lot of fun working on that show?
It's fabulous. We're just in the middle of filming the 8th season. I've been with the show since the end of the 1st season, so I've seen a lot. I've met a lot of wonderful people, and it's one of the most rewarding things I've ever done.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Why is it so rewarding?
Yeah, I got to tell you, I hate reality shows, but I love Biggest Loser. It seems to be really reality, and the winner of that has their lives changed. I mean, everybody that goes through it, their lives have changed.
Absolutely, and it's from the inside out, which has been a wonderful learning curve for me, but it's so inspirational, and it's airing in 90 countries now.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's universal. I mean, everybody around the world pretty much is suffering with the same issues of obesity and overeating and no exercise. Unless you're in a third world country, and then you don't have TV probably. But it's just amazing, and I don't get to see every episode, and sometimes I'll miss a few, and you come out and it's like, that's not the same person that started the show.
Exactly. It's pretty dramatic. It's pretty dramatic, but it's a unique situation.
Yeah, we've had a couple of the losers on, and they do talk about how, at one time they could we remember the young woman we had on, and she could only get on the treadmill for 1 minute at a time.
Right.
It's amazing. And so tell us about your part. What kind of do you get pushback from some of the contestants about they don't want to eat what you're telling them to eat?
Not really, because by the time they have made it to the show, they're so focused. I'm not sure what the statistics are this season, but I remember season 5 we had 225,000 applicants to be on the show. And so by the time they're narrowed down and they make it to Los Angeles for the physical, which is where my job begins, we've narrowed it down to about 50 contestants. And then they have a very comprehensive physical with the doctor. We have a psychologist, and then I spend some time with each of them to talk to them about their typical eating habits and get an idea of where we need to go and that sort of thing. But and then from after the physicals, then we narrow it down to the cast.
How do you weed that down? I mean, American Idol, you can tell you have talent. Can you sing? How, when you've got that many applicants, how do you narrow it down?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with their physical stamina. Are they capable of undergoing all the rigorous exercise and those sorts of things? Because it's very typical, even for those that do pass the physical and make it on the show, they often are on many medications. They have high blood pressure, sleep apnea, sometimes fertility issues, and a lot of them have diabetes that they've developed related to their weight.
Is there any kind of a psychological exam? Because so many of these people go through so many emotional roller coasters, ups and downs.
And that's an excellent question, and that's really a key point, because if the psychological issues aren't addressed, they can lose the weight, but it'll come back. So if there's some underlying issue, whether it's self-esteem or something where people are eating for comfort, we all eat for comfort, but if they're doing that to an extreme, you have to address the underlying